In the story of Spider-Man, an ordinary boy gets bitten by a spider, and he gains these superhuman strengths, which he vows to use to combat crime and fight social injustice. But it's only through the follow-through and the enactment of this commitment that he makes that he actually comes to understand those iconic words of Uncle Ben. With great power comes great responsibility. Today, I'm going to take you on another hero's journey. This hero, his name is Lloyd. He's a father, he has a job, he goes to work. He buys things on behalf of the city of San Francisco. Now, Lloyd's one of the good guys. I know because I looked at his cubicle and he has this cute picture that his son drew. It says, "Don't cut up trees." So I feel pretty good about Lloyd and his harnessing of my taxpayer money in San Francisco. I think he's going to do the right thing. He's going to evaluate every single product that he's buying for environmental, social, fiscal impact, and he's going to be able to choose the right vendors and the right suppliers and the right products. But then I looked at his desk. There's a pile of purchase orders there waiting for him to process. He's got a lot to do. And then I saw his technology. I thought, how is he gonna do that? Well, Lloyd's trying his best, and even though no one's thanking him and he's working really hard, he's aware of his tremendous purchasing, spending responsibility. The city of San Francisco on operational expenditures is about $356 million a year being harnessed by Lloyd and his colleagues. The people in this room, from the 80 or so Fortune 500s and the organizations that you represent, is $1 billion of purchasing spend responsibility. Collectively across the US government plus enterprise, that's $11 trillion of spending responsibility. But how does responsibility turn into purchasing power? Spend responsibility is not the same as purchasing power. To be powerful, we have to be able to direct spend the way we want to direct our spend. It's a lot of impact that is to be had by this purchasing responsibility. How things are made really matters. The information about who made it, how it's made, where it was made, what's in it, when was it made, all that is somewhere. But even if we had that information to look up manually and research, people have a limited attention span. I care, and I can't spend my time looking up every single product. And imagine a city government searching through 2,000 categories of products for the 2 million line items of things that they're purchasing all at once. That's why there's a huge problem today. There's commitment to do right, but enactment today and compliance is simply process. It's not actually accuracy. And that's how we end up hurting ourselves with internalities and externalities that we didn't intend. Now, we have risk communication vehicles like nutrition labels, which tell us the risk involved with the things we put in our bodies. Why is this? And we can figure out whether to eat it or not and what the side effects are, and we can calculate that in our heads. But why is this information not available at scale for everything that we are buying? The price tags that we have today just tell us just that, the price. It's an impoverished price tag that doesn't actually capture everything we need to know. But when we're purchasing things, we have to ask ourselves, what is the right price? What is the price we're paying for the future that we're buying? When we don't have the right information, when we don't have the ability and the power to harness this correctly, bad things happen. Greenhouse gases are creating a barrier that's heating up our Earth. It's getting very hot. And with this increased heat, the water systems and the water cycles of our Earth are speeding up. We have more and more floods happening around the world. And you know, it's not just environmental. Everything is connected with droughts happening because of the warming. We see more social unrest and political unrest. We have to outsource our jobs more, leads to unemployment. Even insurance companies don't have a way of guaranteeing insurance because it's so unpredictable. This is heavy, heavy stuff. So what are we going to do about it? We just need a little bit of help. So one of the things I love most about my job is I get to work, I'm an ecologist, and I get to work with 9 data scientists. And we get to inspire people to do the things that they are already inspired to do. The cities, the school districts, the companies we're working with, they already want to buy more sustainably. And so the most fun part is just figuring out how we can actually, the myriad ways we can actually help them do that. And today at BSR, we're here to tell you that we have something coming up in January that you can all use to empower yourselves and look good doing it. So back to the story of Lloyd. He's already using this. So Lloyd, he's got superhero powers now. And when he now tries to understand information, he has the power to scan through all that data that he would have to research manually before, understand the supply chain and how it gives rise to that information of price, performance, sustainability. And that's because, as an evolutionary ecologist, our secret sauce is actually sequencing the product genome. The human genome has been sequenced. Why not the things in the world that we make and use? They have an evolutionary life history too, the supply chain. We're working to sequence, and we've already done 4.8 million supply chains to date of ingesting all the raw, partnered, and self-disclosed information out there about how things were made. Now, if you understand how things are made, the process by which it was made, you can actually infer the signals, the information about that process. We can figure out if the product, in relation to its category, is a not-so-good product, relatively. We can figure out if it's the most fitted product to the requirements of regulatory policy or corporate governance or the product category rules in that category. And so for the first time in history, we're able to compare products within their category and surface the ones that are most fitted. Products and supply chains evolve just like species evolve. The most fitted to their niche wins the day. And so as we have evolving regulatory frameworks, evolving corporate governance, evolving needs in this world, we need to be able to edit our supply chain DNA. And that's what we're doing. By exercising selection forces for the most fitted products, we can actually harness the demand. Now, the demand is very complicated too, because you have the Environmental Services Department, you have health and safety, you have finance worrying about cost and budget, you have the end user worrying about the performance of the thing. How can you reconcile all that together? That is the tool we are releasing in January. Through the translation of the requirements into end-directed goals, environmentally, socially, and fiscally, we can actually compare products to each other based on the requirements and based on your organization's goals. And then from there, from the things that are materially important, figure out which products in the category that you're selecting is the most fitted to what's important for that category. And so with this power, this is the early warning detection system that we wanted. If there was a nutrition label for products, this is what it would look like. Is this compliant to my environmentally preferable purchasing policy? Is this compliant to my city's labor law practices? Does this meet my company's corporate governance values? As product information evolves, Lloyd, the purchasing clerk, no longer has to rely on word of mouth. He doesn't have to rely on knowing a previous brand name or product name. He doesn't have to rely on the previous popularity of the product. he can actually search for what he needs. And Lloyd has friends. City of Los Angeles has many, many source heroes now. They also are harnessing their spend toward their city's environmentally preferable purchasing policy and their mayor's goals for the year. So Lloyd, through the enactment of his commitment to sustainability, has come to understand the reminder that his son Devin wrote on his desk. And now he knows that with great purchasing power comes great sourcing responsibility. Responsibility to the future and responsibility to each other. Thanks very much.